Welcome back, and we are going to discuss today about Jupiter in signs. Jupiter is the biggest planet by its size, and it's still below the cycle of Saturn. And Jupiter has a cycle of 12 years. It's like a half of Saturn. Even that is the biggest, is giving a feeling that is like the best in the world, but Jupiter is below Saturn. Jupiter is closer than Saturn to the Sun. Saturn takes 30 years to complete the Sun, and Jupiter every 12 years. In our lifetime, we are experiencing Jupiter in all signs because it's happening for a good period of time, and we could learn what is in the background. All the planets that takes more than 3 years in a sign, mostly considered to be outer planets that are giving us the story, the scenario, what is the setup of the theme. The personal planets considered to be Mars, Venus, Mercury, and also the Sun is personal and apersonal, of course. It's the center of our life. It's our sun sign. So Jupiter is where we are understanding the immediate theme to help us understand where is the true, what is happening in reality. It takes exactly 1 year in a sign. Jupiter has a period of around 4 or 5 months being retrograde. At the end of the day, it's spending 1 year in a sign. It's moving fast, then spending time going back from our optical perspective, then going forward and to the next sign. Jupiter will explain us what the collective consciousness is dealing with and what is available for us. As I'm recording this video, July 2022, Jupiter is just ready to start the retrograde. It's in Aries. It's in Aries right now in 8 degrees, and it will go back because all the theme of 2022 is Jupiter in Pisces. The fact that Jupiter crossed over to Aries still didn't finish the Jupiter in Pisces. It will come back to this. So even the prediction for 2022 is very much to emphasis with the Pisces description. So we are going to scan quickly what it means every year. Jupiter in a sign. Jupiter will be in the first house or in Aries in 2023. When was the last time the Jupiter was in Aries? If I'm telling you that 2023 is when we are going to have the official theme of Jupiter in Aries, we should do minus 12, meaning in 2011. What happened in 2011 in the world? Exactly the archetype of Jupiter and Aries. Jupiter because he's masculine, is a senator, is working for justice. We saw protests in 2011 against dictatorship because Aries is masculine and dictatorship, someone that wants to rule. And it was the Arab Spring around the world, and of course the Syria war that changed a lot of geopolitics relationship through a decade. Jupiter, because it's speaking about the world and the overall picture, is also the world, as we mentioned already, geopolitics theme. I'm not sure that I'm going to remember all the scenarios, what happened in each, but you easily can open Wikipedia to see what happened that year, what important events. So before we are jumping to Taurus, Aries, Jupiter in Aries. As we saw in 2011, 2023 may be also related to protests internationally around the world. With Jupiter is always around the world. This is why it's geopolitics events, people fighting for their justice, for their rights. Jupiter is also the ruler of rights, but it's doing justice. It's the word Jupiter, justice, Jesus, and it works only well and if it's pushing toward social benefit, contribution. If it's really something that is going to help to the world, it's going to work. If you are going to fight for your right because it's going to bring more resources to people, to the world, this will be a good thing. If you are fighting for your rights, or you are creating, or also the government are using Jupiter to their needs in order to create more chaos, or if you are fighting for your right just in order to destroy the parliament and whatever, it will not bring resources and will bring destruction. Always we are needing to move with the divine order direction. What we are fighting for. And we always looking what's the next level that we need. Jupiter theme always to a social contribution, because Jupiter is before Capricorn in the nature. But when Jupiter, the ingredient, is visiting the sign, we are start copying the archetype locally to the archetype of Aries, then to what? For the purpose of Jupiter, of Taurus. Always Jupiter is looking forward. This is masculine energy. Forward, forward. What you are fighting for. This is not, Jupiter isn't working good for revenge. If you just want to revenge for things that happened in the past or to compensate on things that happened to you, you are usually losing it all. Because from Jupiter, from the ninth house, you are going to the eighth house, to Scorpio, destroy, losses. And it's very high risk. With Jupiter, we need to go forward and to trust the divine justice that is within us. The divine will destroy what should be gone after your wind passing on it. The period of Jupiter in Taurus, what Taurus speak about resources, about money, about stability, about agreement, security, ability to build. So just for the sake of the example, Jupiter in Taurus will be in 2024, and this will bring a lot of events in the world related to food, related to also will be protest about food. It will be a lot of a lot of changes, and a lot of regulation on resources. And this year is very different because those are more application in astrology that are happening that I will not entering now. Jupiter moving to Gemini. What's the logic of this? After fighting for resources or arranging resources, this is like climate change. Gemini is speaking about the atmosphere, about the air, all what is happening with quick move, all the contracts, agreements, passes, chips are ruled by Gemini. And this will happen in 2025. Gemini, Jupiter in Gemini will enter to every little corner of our life, because the laws, the international laws, are applying on people, and this is very violent year 2025. Not all people seems to have lack of access for resources, but it also will try controlling our mind, because Mercury, Jupiter is to control the mind, to control how we are speaking and communicating. This could be two things: war on free speech that will bring new opportunities for free speech platforms, free way to express ourselves, and on the same time, it could be new laws about for creators. But depends with what scenario I'm taking from the geopolitics, because it's always like two players working in two directions to combat each other. And that's why I said that people will need to see the challenge in order to to find freedom. Always Jupiter will increase the need for freedom in the same archetype. So if in 2024 is freedom of resources, finding self-sufficiency, in Gemini, to find freedom of communication, of accessibility to things, and freedom of creativity to write things, to teach things. And it will be a boom of teaching, and teaching online, of course. And then why? And why the free of speech is important, and fighting for opportunities to express ourselves is important, and to work with clean energy, because it's speaking in preparing for Jupiter in Cancer. What is Cancer? Home, domestic area, emotional protection, families. Jupiter in Cancer may increase the pregnancy women around the world, will bring more children to the world, will bring new ways of living, new ways of installments, settlements, where communities will start building new way of even materials where to build. And we're speaking about 2026, and the ability of free access for food, access for communication, creativity will allow people to live in other places in a new way, and forming new kind of families. It will give opportunities related to families, related to homes, and where we find our basic needs derived from, and things related to abortion and pregnancy. Probably it's out of a war or disturbing energy, because Jupiter in Gemini is very explosive. Jupiter is the opposite of Mercury. Jupiter is frustrated in Gemini, because Gemini is small and very moving, and Jupiter wants to do big things. So it's showing resistance, it's showing civil unrest, it's showing need for freedom, need for people rebelling, people creating chaos. And it could create also involvement of new technologies that also could work against people. So after this, we are speaking that all this rebel and thing is in order to us reproducing and finding peace and home. They will try to reduce the reproduction, and people will need to fight for the devil energy will try always to go against the direction, to control the resources, and we will need. That's what people will need to emphasize, and the opportunities and the justice of Jupiter pushing us forward will give the theme of what is happening in the world. I think that the message is clear. Now I will run more quickly. Jupiter in Leo, again, which is 2027, speak about shift of empires, and empires or control taking extra power. This is also in our personal life, how we become more self-sovereign and taking authority. Jupiter in Leo is very masculine and is about who is controlling what. And I think that some countries may declare independency or will disconnect from central banks or from central structure. Is all what comes with a centralization. Leo is the heart, and Jupiter in Leo wants to be the ruler of the world, and it's not working like this. And it's also because we are just stepping to the era of Aquarius. This is related to all those entities that are centralized: Federal Reserve, central banks, central energy, World Health Organization, all those things. And it will be the opportunity to create new centers or new little centers in the world. And after we will find civilization, the civil will find the protection in things as the cancer, we will be able to dominate ourselves. Jupiter in Virgo, creating new opportunities of job, creating new opportunities for health. And this will be a great medical improvement with the science come involved, but this is also can take to new application of technology in human bodies. And this is, we know what it means because we need to push for justice. Oops, the camera just shut down, the battery was low, and we finished with Jupiter in Virgo. And from another location, few hours after, waiting for my lunch, I'm continuing to speak about the rest of the signs. Jupiter in Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces. Jupiter, we just spoke that Jupiter in Virgo can bring new innovation in medical care, in options of how people could to solve things and in solution for disease. But this is also very speaking about end of chaotic timing or increasement of new sort of problems that we haven't figured out before. Because with Virgo we are speaking about problems because it's ruled by Mars, by Mercury, and by Chiron, and it's all about fixing and healing. And there are so many events that may need to be faced in the next years. And this is a time for making order in our life and finding new solutions to complicated situation in the world. It's opportunities for complicated situation, and it will work vice versa for companies and government that will try to push back to extra control, and from the side of people that will try to push to Libra to more balance and agreement. Then Jupiter in Libra brings a good time for love and peace, giving opportunities for loving our, for finding partners, for finding joy, because in Libra, Jupiter is increasing the archetype of Venus that brings love, harmony, and we may see more opportunities for peace, for agreement between different groups, connecting between different projects, finding new diplomatic relationships. And you may expect in Jupiter, the year of Jupiter in Libra, that will happen 6 years from here toward 2029, to a new agreement between people and government with all the rebel that we may expect in 2023, for example, the need for self-sovereignty, will be more of this is the solution that were found in Virgo time in 2028. Then something big is coming. Jupiter in Scorpio. Boom, crash, or not just crash, transformation, change. We're speaking about 2030, and this is big agenda for Jupiter in Scorpio, where the investment will invert, everything can change in a very drastic way, and this is something that can give a lot of financial advantages and to increase the price of precious metals, oil, or other materials that suddenly will be hidden, because Scorpio is the opposite of Taurus, right? Second house to the eighth house. It's all symmetry. So if in Jupiter in Taurus we are speaking about our body and resources, what is relevant for 2024, and speaking about technology for implementing in the body, etc., we are going to value hidden materials that may be suddenly the next things, like lithium, maybe will be more expensive than um, more expensive than gold, etc. Jupiter in Scorpio is the time of finding hidden resources, and it's creating a merge of a lot of companies, a lot of power, and of course the people will find opportunities to expand, to break free. It will be the time to face all the fears, all what we saw in the last decade, and how to go forward. And the government, in a way, the other power, whatever it will be expressed by, to push people back to Libra, to a place that status quo, that won't let us to to go away, like marriage that are in troubles and no option to divorce. It's like troubles in divorce. So this is a time for divorce. This is very much needing for decentralization, because we will need to push always forward with Jupiter, looking to what opportunity, to the opportunity of Jupiter going back home. Jupiter in Sagittarius, that is the next one, will be a time of freedom. 2031 is a time that we may expect opportunities of freedom, globalism, more travels, more new ways of travels, and studies, a lot of new studies. And what should be promoted in this time is to restructure our society. Freedom in order to restructure our society. This is time that we may speak about one world government or more centralization, or if not decentralization, it's more opportunities for people to find the ways out. And this is a very good year. Usually when Jupiter is in home sign, we can find a lot of knowledge, enlightenment, and sense of freedom to grow. And always when it's in order, not to make money or to corrupt other and to go to Scorpio, but in order to move forward to the MC, to contribute something in society, as this is the essence of Jupiter. What's happening when Jupiter is in Capricorn? Jupiter isn't happy. In Capricorn, Jupiter is feeling its inferiority. In mythology, Jupiter, Zeus, escaped from Saturn, which is the ruler of Capricorn. So when Jupiter escaped from Saturn, already created sort of hate between those archetypes. Jupiter likes feeling, if I'm alone, I'm independent, no one above me. Suddenly, Jupiter needs to face authority. And we know that the more freedom you want to experience, the more responsibility you need to become. And this is a moment of maturity. And we had it in 2020, together with the big other transit that related to Saturn and Pluto that met. In 2019, Jupiter was in Sagittarius, and we did remember that everything was possible. You could travel wherever you want, you could invent, you could create tech adventures. When Jupiter is in Capricorn, like was in 2020, like it was in 2008, we need to take responsibility. And all the leveraging in the markets and all the belief and a lot of um, way to control the freedom of people is become very relevant. Jupiter want to expand, but it always can expand until the limit of Saturn. And this is the limit. Jupiter is located in the ninth house, a moment before the MC. And this is a moment of maturity. Now is a moment that rules, government, ideas need to merge with the new social rules and system. We saw it very clearly in the example of 2020. This is a time for building businesses. This is time for um, taking advantages of the laws, taking advantages of knowing, finding the opportunities inside of the law to your own needs, and to build for something that is worth working for it for long term. And because in Capricorn we are always speaking about things that may last or should last for for many years ahead. It's not something that you are just investing until it's become non-trendy. It's like buying a home. Jupiter in Aquarius, as we had in 2021, is a time of breaking the rules and creating new rules. Of course, the system, the devil system, will try to continue taking people into structure and new laws and restrictions, but people should use this Aquarius time in order to unite ourselves more and to share information. So this is a revolution of technology, and the parallel to this was 2009, and this is a time of explosion of new technology. Look how the metaverse just born to the world with this influence just before going to Pisces. And we are speaking about crypto that went to very high prices in 2021 with Jupiter in Aquarius. People are very much fascinating with the quick ability to break, to go forward. But if they are going to take capitals, because capitals is Capricorn, the capitals, and going to do success in order to not going in the organic order, not going to Pisces, is creating very misfortune. A lot of capital money went to crypto in 2021, and it wasn't okay. A lot of companies, PayPal, etc., started to go with the crypto. But the Jupiter in Aquarius is in order for us to find unity and to prepare for chaotic timing when the irregular order is not what is on the table, and we are going with something that is hard to control, hard to organize, that is chaotic, that is breaking. It's like preparing for the break of the system. This is the Pisces, is the end. It's like to the death of the system. So if people were using 2021, for this example, Jupiter in Aquarius, in order to um, get free, in order to make order or safety in chaotic time and poverty time, recession time, was good. But if people are using all this money in order to build the future businesses and to bring more capitals, like building on the old system of the beast, it's about fail. But those that already hedged themselves outside of the system, out of the machine, in order to prepare, looking forward to the Pisces horizon, is going to be better and freer when the time is needed. We always need to sort of search the opportunities for the next cycle, for a year ahead of Jupiter next sign. Then Jupiter is in Pisces, and Jupiter loves being in Pisces, and that's what we saw in the beginning of 2022. Since the 2022 started, and we started seeing chaos, and we started that all the order that the pandemic tried to create, and with PCRs and QRs and everything, suddenly the war, shortages, poverty, suddenly things are not in order, people are protesting around the world, and this is the entire theme of 2022. And I said in many occasions that 2022 is catch 2022. What we think that is going is not, because Pisces is like two fishes going to different direction. And this is what creates confusion, creating fogs. It's amplifying the vaccination, the pharmacy industry, and all the deals that are happening in the pharma and the drug dealer, and extra uses of drugs, because Pisces is ruling of Neptune, of illusion, of fantasies, and also of creativity. So, of course, two scenarios are happening. Jupiter in the year 2022, for example, or parallel to this 2010, or the people are going to losing themselves into total escapism with new technologies. And in 2010, it was the burst of all the social media, and or to go into finding their own uniqueness inside of this chaotic time, looking forward to the next sign of Jupiter back to Aries. And this is a new endeavors. Even that I'm recording this video now under Jupiter in Aries, we are in 2022, so Jupiter is going back to Pisces, and we are just getting a sign, a taste of what is Jupiter in Aries, but still all 2022 is Pisces. That is increasing the opportunities to see inside of chaos, inside of um, to see the hidden enemies, to see what's really was happening under the veil, and to go forward in order to fight your rights and to be on your legs when everybody are sort of sinking. This is the time. And a lot of people are escaping because they are following the opposite direction of the organic law and looking for opportunities in Jupiter and Pisces in order to have cooperation, organization, like going into the Jupiter in Aquarius. I didn't mention before, Jupiter in Aquarius is very much helping to cooperations and big organization to grow and to take big steps on people. They plan for a chaotic time, but they also plan for taking the capital. But we always need to look as a divine beings, looking forward with the next destiny of what Jupiter theme to do in the next theme, the following year. Hopefully this was clear about the order of Jupiter passing in signs, and it may connect the dots with more planets and more classes that we are going to discuss about the same order from different places until you will be ready for the next modules where we're going to digest more complicated materials, transits, conjunctions, situations, and until we will arrive to the core of what this course will lead you to, is to read charts, to see markets, drawing a line. But Jupiter, anyhow, is giving us the theme, the philosophical theme, then beyond the environment, the international environment, what is in the world, and what to search for and what to avoid from. Until the next, when we are going to speak about Saturn in signs and about Pluto moving in signs. In Saturn, we are going to move quickly on the 12 signs, but with Pluto, because it's a very short, very long movement, we're going to discuss only on 3 or 4 Plutos. That is for all the people on that are on Earth this time, and we will see it going forward. Until the next, bye for now.